Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
And welcome to the Weird Science Comics YouTube channel, where I think I need some sort of phrasing at the beginning here and maybe spice it up a little, like, hey, look at us. We're not negative. We're just being honest. So don't hate us, all right? Is that a good saying? I don't think it was. Well, I'm here to talk about Justice League number 47, an issue that is written by Robert Venditti with art by Eddie Barrows. And you end up having a 3-issue arc end here. This has kind of been the thing with Venditti. And what ends up being, in my mind, the kind of the blueprint, kind of the roadmap of how he's been doing things is, let's start out a story with something that is really intriguing, something that people haven't seen, something that will get people really pumped up. Then the second issue, you kind of lose a little focus, get a little padding, and then the third issue, it all ends in a thud, in a whimper, because that's what happens here. I think that's the same thing that happened with the Eradicator story, where you end up having the Eradicator with Daxamites. Oh my God, that's pretty cool. That's really clever. And then you end up with nothing. And yeah, things are going to reset at the end of stories, kind of. And the bigger you go, the more you're going to have to possibly reset it. But you need a story throughout. You need something that's going to keep people intrigued and then want to keep reading your next story. And I'm starting to not get that much from this. I really am starting to kind of go with, these things aren't worth it. And with Death Metal going where you're going to end up going with the Justice League from that, and that seems like maybe people will shift to that. And this book might be in danger, though. Like Venditti usually does, you get enough hero moments that you can at least say, well, that is a Justice League book. A lot of people had things to do. Now, one of the things that I had a problem with the separation of Jim Corrigan from the Spectre running wild, brother, and he's out there and everybody has grudges. Everybody's against each other, and we didn't see the worldwide ramifications of it. What we really did see was the Spectre giving a premonition of a world that's going to be destroyed eventually by these grudges to the Justice League in the first issue. But it's been very insular. It's been very contained within just the Justice League's point of view. We finally do get to see the worldwide ramifications. And get this, the Spectre ends up causing grudges like a sister fighting a brother. I mean, really?
Take me outside. How about that?
A sister getting mad at a brother. Oh, my. Also, really, you've never seen this before. A rivalry between two soccer fans ends up starting a brawl. And I'll say football for our worldwide watch and listeners. But yeah, a soccer football team rivalry, it ends up in a pub where you're drinking and people being upset because of a loss that happened last year in the playoffs. Now, listen. This is complete and utter bullcrap. These are regular grudges. You're not telling me anything different where I see, oh my God, some football fans are fighting. I mean, I am a Philadelphia Eagles fan. I do not need the Spectre's grudges to hate Dallas Cowboy fans and the Dallas Cowboys. In fact, I expect the same from them. Finally, me and the Dallas Cowboy fans can come together in unity to say, we hate each other because we hate each other, not because of the Spectre grudges, not because of it. And at the end, when Jim Corrigan goes back with the Spectre, you end up where I still hate the Dallas Cowboy fans and their team. I can't stand, Dak Prescott. I don't need these guys. You're not going to convince me that this is any other grudges than what we would normally get. It's nonsense, right? So you end up with that. Well, you go to Tartarus, Themyscira, and you have Tartarus, the Titan, the god, and they're in the place. This confuses Batman for some reason because, I don't know, he's kind of a smart guy. And he's like, I don't know if this is the Tartarus person or the place. I was getting confused. And so you have this. Well, while this is going on, Jim Corrigan has just been whiny the whole time. Really, all this was set in motion just because he does not want to do his job. He ends up wanting to quit. He wants to retire. That's fine. You got to think things through a little, Jim Corrigan. You got to remember how this is all set up. And really, he kind of is kind of quitting God. God, this is the vengeful God. This is the Old Testament God. I think that he's going to want vengeance. You can't just walk out. You have to at least give, 2 weeks notice, something. I don't know. But yeah, he's walking around in this like he just ate a burrito or something. It's not agreeing with him. He ate a spicy meatball and he ate the whole thing. He needs some Alka-Seltzer or something. Somebody get him that. But yeah, you go and I can't believe it. Everybody, I was doing my job and I didn't want to do it anymore. And now I've ended up letting Tartarus get out. Yeah, you did. You messed up. So solve it, which he does. Because with this, Tartarus is just here as the action component of all of this book because there really isn't much for anybody to do. The whole story hinges on Jim Corrigan saying, well, yeah, I think that I want to go back to being with the Spectre. And so that doesn't make a great story. You need some filler in there, and that's what Tartarus is. And Tartarus really seems big, looks huge here. The art's great. The art throughout this is really, really good. But you're just fighting Tartarus to kind of waste time, but then to end up where they try to save Jim Corrigan, get him out of there. He can't. But really, it's going to be so that Jim Corrigan can see that even when there's grudges and hate and things like that, people can still get along. This seems to be Jim Corrigan's problem, where he's like, okay, well, I've kind of been tortured all this time in my mind, which kind of said as being the Spectre. But if you guys all get along and are happy, I guess I'll be the Spectre. Well, you have Jon Stewart there, and he's still working and very selfless, being the target for the Themyscirians, the Amazonians, the Themyscirians. You end up where he has made a construct army, a Green Lantern Corps army construct where they can focus their anger so that they don't kill each other. Though, why aren't the grudges specific to what they really want to be? These things get tiered just so the Amazonians don't kill each other. But you end up with Tartarus kind of capturing the Justice League. And then the Justice League realizing, you know what? Superman says, you know what, Batman? I kind of did tell my truth, my identity, without checking with you. And I'd like to apologize. I really blame Brian Michael Bendis for the nonsense and pushing it, but still, I'll apologize to you, Batman. Please forgive me. You don't have to forgive Brian Michael Bendis. That is utter nonsense. And then Batman says, oh, you know what? I shouldn't have let it fester these 3 days since it's happened. So, all right. And then Wonder Woman just says, can't we all get along? It's all our faults. We all have grudges. We got to be open with these. Now, this is the basic thing of the whole entire arc, which is nice. It's the idea of, hey, the Justice League is now re-energized. They love each other. Brothers and sisters. Let's go. Problem is, I never, ever got the idea that they did have their problems. And when they did, they were problems that actually, to me, made them better. Is Batman going to leave here? Oh, let me go get that suitcase with the contingencies. I'm going to flush that down the toilet because he has a big toilet. He's rich. And then you'll have things like Flash will go off and say, well, I guess they don't just want me for my speed. I think they want me for my quips and jokes, which nobody does. Barry says, shut it. But yeah, you have all this. Poor Aquaman's just sitting there like, I just want to get back to Mara and Aqua Baby. I don't want to be hanging here. But yeah, with all that, this is where Jim Corrigan comes to an epiphany. The light bulb goes off. I understand now. The crooks and killers you've had me send to the afterlife, making a man do the dirty work of God. Well, that's just part of the job. It's just part of the deal. And really, that gets rid of the nonsense in the world. So you know what? Spectre, let's get inside each other in a non-sexy way. Yeah, let's go. And then all of a sudden you see, oh my God, the football fans end up, hey, you know what? It's just soccer. I mean, really, let's have a pint. My treat. What the funniest thing would be, and really, please just listen to me about this. If you ended up having this whole thing and you ended up seeing, oh, there's the brother and sister. They're getting along now. Yeah, okay. You end up, oh, world leaders are not at each other's throats anymore. All right, you have this. I wish that Venditti would have went back to this bar and they were still fighting. This does not matter. It was nothing to do with the Spectre. We just hate your guts because you like another team, which is accurate. It would have been hilarious. It would have been the funniest thing I've read in a long, long time, where they just keep fighting. And then Jim Corrigan's like, well, I guess some grudges can't be solved. Wah, wah, wah. Right? You could have had that. Oh, my. But yeah, so basically, Jim Corrigan ends up saying, okay, I'll be the Spectre again. The world is better for it. Tartarus, though, he's still pissed. And this is why I thought that maybe Tartarus should have been shown having a grudge, but you can't do that because you need to have him fight a little bit after the fact. He's just a mean guy. He says this is all meaningless. You guys are weak. You're worthless and weak. You're like you're in a Twisted Sister video, and let's go. I'm going to get you all. Until they just attack, and then Jim Corrigan's Spectre comes and says, oh no, Tartarus, be gone with you. That's it. I mean, everything is just happening. It's like, snap your finger, it happened. All right, everything's better. And gosh, golly gee, Justice League, we still like each other. And then he says, your actions were misguided, but because of them, your friends were forced to confront their own inner truths about the Spectre to Jim Corrigan. Hey, that's what happened. Everything was so that the Justice League could get along, though I didn't think they weren't. But you end the whole deal with Jim Corrigan getting the Justice League off of Themyscira so that you don't have to deal with the men stepping on Paradise Island. So that's even what you don't even get a ending for that. And really, all these things are just pretty much non-endings to get to an ending, which is, all right, everybody, I think that we're all going to get along from now on. We're the Justice League and we're strongest together. Yeah. And that's nice enough. It's not enough, though, for these stories. These things keep happening. They keep thudding at the end to be something that feels more like a Saturday morning cartoon than 3 issues of a comic that I want to try to justify buying, even though I know that since Scott Snyder left this book, these were just fill-in issues. That's fine. I understand, but you don't have to remind me every time I finish one of your stories. This is bullcrap. This ends up being infuriating, but at the end it's just like, oh, golly gee, we're together again. Everything's solved with nothing, and then here we go. And then you just keep going on and on and on. I just can't really take it anymore. And this is one of the things that's frustrating me more than anything are these non-stories, and that's what this is, and that's why I'm going to give this a 5.5. I love the art. It's just, it ends in a whimper. But if you're just here for that superhero moment of, hey, guys, we love each other. Let's keep going. All right, let's go. We're wild and crazy Justice Leaguers. Then you're going to be better served than me. When you set something up as big as Jim Corrigan saying he doesn't want to be the Spectre, separates himself, that is huge. And this didn't feel huge. It felt very, very small. It's like, it's not small. No, but it is. But we're not in the honeycomb hideout. We're not there right now, but there you go. But yeah, 5.5 and whatever. Tell me how you felt in the comments below as I kind of lose my mind. I need a drink. We don't have a refrigerator right now in my house, and we're waiting for one to be delivered, and I have no cold beverages. I need one, and I'm going to go get one. But thanks, everybody, for watching and listening to this video. Please like it and subscribe to the channel. That'd be awesome. And also look in the links below because we have a bunch of other things, Weird Science, where we talk about DC and Marvel books. We have websites. We have podcasts. We have everything. You get a car. You get a car. You have everything. And it gets more into it. We end up expanding a little more. One of the things our DC podcast specifically is known for is a longer podcast. So if you like things a little longer, you can go there. But thanks, everybody, and I'll talk to you later.